Welcome back, everybody, to SnK eSports versus Shadowforge Gaming. We are here at the, I've forgotten the name already. What's the tournament called here?
We Try Hard, or Game is Hard. Game is Hard, I'm sorry. Game is Hard tournament.
Fitting name for this game. Now, anyway, have you guys seen Shadowforge Gaming?
I have not seen Shadowforge Gaming, and actually not the only team I'm familiar with at all in this entire tournament is this SnK eSports. We have seen them play before in that 82L amateur game we casted Friday, so going into this kind of blind.
Yes, indeed here, but SnK versus another team. They both put up two very good games. Both were actually back and forth, very even. However, I did notice that SnK, they were able to develop a lead early on and get a massive farm boost, but they were unable to use this farm to actually end the game. And from that, they just couldn't end the game. They could never go high ground, and eventually they let their opponents come back. So we'll see if they fall to the same or if the same thing happens here, or if they come up with a new strategy.
Okay. Sorry, I had to turn you down there, so if you were hearing a loop back in the stream, I got that fixed right off the bat. So, alright, so getting into the ban, seeing the Leshrac, pretty standard ban, but a Bounty Hunter, not so standard by SnK.
Yeah, Bounty Hunter, they might have done their research on Shadowforge Gaming, but usually Bounty Hunter is not one of the heroes you see first ban. But here we do, so maybe one of the Shadowforge support players does play a really good support bounty. We personally do not know this team, so we don't know. Anyway, SnK, they pick up the Queen of Pain. We saw, oh boy, I don't even remember. It was ex-Kevdog, so they don't have Kevdog here. He was their mid player.
They do, on their roster, they do have quite a few people on their roster, so it may just be a different lineup, or possibly just pulling in somebody different just because of a scheduling conflict.
I think you're right here, and Herb Salad, I think, may be their new mid player. Anyway, for Shadowforge Gaming, Gyrocopter. Now, at the start of the meta of the 6.84 patch, Gyrocopter was first picked, first ban. Then a few changes came out, and teams started to value him a little bit less. Do you still think that he is first pick worthy?
I'm going to have to say, could be, depending on the play of the Gyro. Gyro can be really deadly if he gets some good help, rotations, and lets that Rocket Barrage do work. But if he is neglected by his supports and can't get that early farm secured, he does struggle, especially in the mid to late game.
Definitely. Gyrocopter is not one of those heroes you can come back with. If you ever fall behind, you will stay behind the rest of the game. Very snowbally carry. And with the recent nerfs to him, it makes snowballing a lot harder. But now they got an Earthshaker. You can see the synergy there. The Fisher blocks someone off, and the Rocket Barrage can just lay into them.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what they're going to go with here. Earthshaker, just all-around great support. Have seen him picked up a lot, but strange they have not banned out the Bloodseeker, and usually if the Bloodseeker's not banned, he's a pretty solid pick. He can get around that Rupture, great to keep those supports in place and just burn them down. That Silence also works well with the Call Down and the Earthshaker Fisher to stun. So we might see a Bloodseeker pick here by Shadowforge Gaming if he's not picked by SnK.
And if he's not picked by SnK, you can imagine 4 more bans. He's probably getting banned. Shadowforge here, they already do have what is most likely their one position in the Gyrocopter. So having a Bloodseeker would be slightly uncharacteristic of the current meta, but anything can happen. I've seen offlane Bloodseekers just tear games apart.
Right, and you do occasionally see that Gyrocopter go to that off lane, gets a babysitter there, works on the farm, and then can transition to that jungle if he's got some juicy stacks waiting for him with that flat cannon. So it's anybody's guess here.
But now SnK eSports, they picked up the Witch Doctor, and Axe is going to be banned out. So Axe, very good way of controlling up the Queen of Pain. Of course, during that Axe call, you can't blink, and it's a reliable way. It goes through BKB. Just overall good against the Quap. Earthshaker, just thinking about that. Earthshaker usually likes to gank mid. If you have like a Shadow Fiend, and if you have a Shadow Fiend, you're going up against the Leshrac. The Earthshaker completely turn that matchup on his head, where usually Leshrac will do great. The Earthshaker can just get those quick ganks off. You hit up a Fisher into a true raise, and then Leshrac's dead. But against a Quap, you can't really do that. So this Earthshaker will probably put a lot more emphasis on the Gyrocopter here, as he can't put a whole lot of pressure on the Quap.
Right, yeah, Quap with that blink, depending also on what build she wants to go. I have seen some Quaps, especially in this new meta, go 2 points into that, what is it here, the Shadow Strike, yes, and harass that mid lane with that damage over time. And you really don't need any ganks there if you can harass that mid lane out. So we could see that annoying lane build go for the Quap, and just the Quap look to go late game.
Definitely. And now 2 bans I just want to talk about real quick here. The Chen and the Drow ban. So far, Jesus was my dad. We've seen him play Chen. He played it, I think, he played it the last game. He didn't do the best job ever, but he served his purpose.
Yep, yeah, he definitely did well in that jungle in the early game. Really stayed right up there with those lane carries and did a great job getting through that jungle and getting the much-needed golden XP and that prior to that 6-minute mark.
Yeah, he was on top. But anyway, Specimen Spurf, from time to time, I have seen him run a Drow lineup, so the Drow ban, very good there. They already have 2 ranged heroes, just a very smart ban there by them. But now Shadowforge Gaming going to pick up the Dazzle. Earthshaker Dazzle, this combination does it all. They have stuns, they have healing, the minus armor, the team fight. Very, very strong support duo. And especially with the Gyrocopter, this can be a very aggressive lane.
Right, yeah, that Poison Touch slowing the heroes down, and Gyrocopter being able to zip right up to him, give him a full rocket barrage, and you're pretty much sold out right then.
Yes, definitely. Now, Dire, SnK, they banned out the Storm Spirit. Now, Storm Spirit we're going to see in the mid usually against a Quap. Who do you think wins that matchup, the Queen of Pain or the Storm Spirit?
Again, that comes down to really execution, but I think Queen of Pain, if she does decide to go 2 points in that Shadow Strike, it's really hard for any mid to contend with that dot. But Storm Spirit, pretty solid pick if they were able to get it against a Quap, but it really comes down to execution. I think it's a pretty even matchup if they did go that route.
Now, interesting mechanic I just want to ask you about seeing the Bloodseeker that SnK just picked up. If someone is ruptured, then they get Shallow Grave, can they just continue running and they won't die?
Yes.
Right.
And that is something that they're going to have to be mindful of. Dazzles throws that Shallow Grave out, and you can just run for your life. But if it isn't a team fight, you also got to think Bloodseeker gets that bonus speed, bonus damage with the hero being at low health. So if you don't quickly die and you're just delaying death, you're giving Bloodseeker that extra damage and speed to wreck your team with.
Definitely. And now, real quick, the Viper and the Quap. Now, Viper, we're probably going to see a mid-Viper here. You're talking about there are so few heroes that can deal with the Queen of Pain, and the Viper is definitely one of them. He is one of the few heroes I can think of that just destroys a Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain, as you talked about, her laning relies on her dots, and just the Shadow Strike you lay into the enemy mid. And with Viper, that's going to hurt you a heck of a lot more than it's going to hurt Viper.
Yeah, it does. If she doesn't pay attention and she throws that Shadow Strike on a Viper, 1 point in Nether Toxin will do more damage to the Queen of Pain than the Shadow Strike will actually do to the Viper.
And also on Queen of Pain, you like to try to blink aggressively, blink, Shadow Strike, and scream and take out half their health. Well, you can't do that on a Viper. A Viper will tank through that with that corrosive skin, the magic resistance, and he will just click you all the way until you get back to your side or kill you. So it's a very hard matchup for the Queen of Pain, and a lot of times when Queen of Pains are up against Viper, they don't even level the Shadow Strike. So I am curious to see how whoever plays mid will do. Now the Phoenix. Phoenix coming out. So a lot of times when you see a Phoenix, it's either an off-lane Phoenix or a support Phoenix. Given the lineup here, which do you think it will be?
I think it's going to be a solo off-lane Phoenix. They're going to run that Bloodseeker in the off-lane, throw him a support. They could pick up a jungler here, but Phoenix going in that off-lane, going to have an easy time picking up a quick 6, and then that damage, that slow attack speed is just going to wreck. So I think the Phoenix is probably going to go solo, and they're going to look to try to get a quick 6 on that Phoenix. But real quick here, we are streaming on a delay, but we do have we do have some Herb Salad fanboys or girls here in the Twitch chat. So Herb Salad got some followers here, shouting him out in this Twitch chat.
Wow. Well, you see here. Let's see if I can find. Oh, I do find your stream. Awesome. Let's see how it's going. Anyway, if we look now, last band's coming out, the Vengeful Spirit band by Shadowforge Gaming. So they're expecting the same thing that we are with an off-lane Phoenix.
Yeah, that negative armor there. If they did pick up a Vengeful, you've got some tankiness with that Viper if he decides to go tank. But that minus armor, especially with that Queen of Pain ult, it's just gonna wreck.
And now SNK, they have what looks to be they're needing one more support. They ban out the Weaver. What do you think SNK should pick up here as their final support?
Oh, let's see, who would gel well. You know, Omni Knight. I'm a pretty big fan of Omni Knight in the support role. Doesn't always gel well, but you get that physical ult and stop all physical damage, and then you've got the level 1. If you did want to put into it, you've got basically a BKB at level 1. You tie that with the Bloodseeker, and Bloodseeker can really do well with that repel from the Omni Knight.
I think you're probably right there. The only other thing I would say is they need some sort of support that can tilt the mid lane, back in favor of the Quap. And Witch Doctor, he can gank, but not all that well. And a Bloodseeker, he can do fine in lane. So I think they either need to go for something greedy, like you said, with the Omni Knight, which I think what they will do, or something that can beat a Viper. But I don't think there is anything that can beat a Viper.
Not in this laning phase. So the Darkseer. And I did read that Darkseer, and I don't know which patch it was, but recently did get a buff to that. Let's see here. So the Ion Shell getting a duration buff. So it's actually possible now to get up to 3 Ion Shells on the lane at once.
Wow, that's going to be brutal for this Bloodseeker. I mean, usually you think about Bloodseeker, you think he's not going to have a bad laning stage. He gets 100 health just for last hitting. And
a Visage.
Let's see how he does. Visage coming out.
And I think that Drow ban was a great ban, especially that Jesus Was My Dad. If he's a confident Visage player, that Drow Visage just alone is enough to change team fights as well as just burn towers. So
actually, that's exactly what they're going for, because if you look at this lineup, it's a Drow lineup. Substitute Bloodseeker for Drow, and that's a Drow lineup right there.
Yeah, I think Shadowforge were able to get that ban and maybe change this game here.
They read the situation very well. Now on to our teams. Dirksha for your Dire squad is playing the Queen of Pain. Herb Salad, the stand-in, is playing your Phoenix. Captain Spursman Spurf, the Bloodseeker. Visage being played by Jesus Was My Dad. And last but not least for your Dire squad, Rewerb?
It's anyone's guess here.
It's already picked up an early smoke here, so we may see an early smoke play.
Okay, so we'll quickly introduce Shadowforge Gaming here. We've got Maggot on the Viper. He's looking to get some dominance in that mid lane, it looks like. We've got Lobby playing that support Dazzle. Hopefully get some good shallow graves here. Savage Habit on the Gyrocopter. And it looks like Earthshaker going to hang out with him. Ambrochin, we're just going to call him Ambro on the Earthshaker. And then Quantum bringing up that solo off lane on that Darkseer there.
Now they saw Quantum over there. He was trying to go place a ward, and he didn't get it down. Usually when you're playing an offlane like that, you count on the enemy just going for the runes, and you can just quickly go over here and place down a ward. But he wasn't able to get that, so it may be difficult for him to be able to block that pull camp until later.
All right, and that may make him pay just a little bit in that lane. If they look to pull, he wasn't able to get that ward up, so we may see some pulling happening on the side of SNK.
Both mids snagging up the rune here at level 1. We were talking about the pulling, but Darkseer as an offlane isn't impacted so much by pulling just because he's going to be pushing. Have you ever had this shot?
Yeah, you know, it seems like this last patch has caused it. I've seen it quite a bit just today. A couple games have caused a lot of reconnects, even in the pubs. Yeah, occasionally the reconnects don't fix it. You actually have to close the client altogether as well.
Ambro, it's not nice skipping over the bug. Seems as though Ambro was having some issues earlier on. Now, so we're seeing the lane start to develop. The Darkseer versus this tri-lane here. Does he get a little? Does he get a lot? What do you think?
You know, the only thing that they're really going to be able to do with the Darkseer is that Ion Shell is going to get Darkseer the gold. But if they can push Darkseer back far enough and still are able to deal with those ion shells, they can at least zone him out of the experience, which a Darkseer being in that solo, that the whole point is to try to get him as much experience as you can to level up that ion shell as quick as you can, because later on that ion shell falls off, and if Darkseer doesn't get those get in that XP range, then he's really going to be hurting.
Definitely. And now if we take a look at things, though, we were talking earlier about the Visage and the Witch Doctor and how they would need to gank mid lane if they're going to take down this this Viper against the Queen of Pain. And if they do leave this Bloodseeker alone, he's going to be hurting a lot versus that Ion Shell.
Yes, yeah, definitely. But it is nice for Bloodseeker that he's got that ability to regen health on the creep. So if I had to pick a lineup and maybe favor a hero against the Darkseer, I think a Bloodseeker is a pretty solid pick, just given that quick, that Blood Rage gives him that chance to regain some health on those last hits.
Definitely. And look at this.
So there's 3.
Ion Shells. Oh
Yep.
my god. He had a 4th one, but it expired before he got to the lane.
Yeah, so that right there's the new meta right there coming out with the Darkseer. The ability to get those ion shells. I mean, look at the lane. He's already sitting under tower with still 1 ion shell going.
Alright, yeah, it pushes the lane just so much. Interestingly enough, the Quap, she's gone from no points in Shadow Strike here against the Viper. She just hasn't even leveled it. I think she knows that her trying to go for a Shadow Strike on the Viper, it's going to hurt Viper a heck of a lot more than it'll hurt her. Or hurt her more than hurt Viper.
So we are seeing Darkseer get zoned way out. He is pushing the lane and securing that farm, but he's not getting anywhere close into XP range. So still sitting at level 1.
Once he gets that soul ring, he can usually jungle as a Darkseer fairly easily. We haven't talked much about this Phoenix. He did go in the off lane, as we thought. He did place down the Sentry. No, it's a Radiant Sentry, my bad. Looks like he's going...
Just going to block. Yeah, just going to block.
Yes, he's going in the off lane here, and they haven't done anything to really stop him at this point. Their sports look like they're stacking at the moment. They're going to get triple stacks by minute 2 here, it looks like, on both of these camps. Oh, misses the one barely, but triple stack and a double stack, very efficient. Now, Earthshaker doing some casual harassment on the Phoenix, getting him quite low, but not enough to block him.
Yeah, that Phoenix shouldn't have too bad of a time, especially with that Icarus dive. Pretty much an easy getaway, especially at these lower levels.
Definitely, but if the Earthshaker does time it right, he can actually
stop the Icarus dive, yeah.
Although him doing so would be very difficult.
So quick summary here of the last hits. Gyrocopter leading the board here, 14 last hits with 7 denies, and then the Bloodseeker, Queen of Pain, both sitting 14 last hits and 5 denies. So pretty even laning phase here.
I'm really surprised that the Viper, he is actually trailing on CS to this Quap, which is pretty surprising. And Quap actually has gone up for the leveling of Shadow Strike here. Around the top lane, Darkseer still being zoned back, level 2 at the moment, compared to the Phoenix. Oh, also level 2, both offlaners.
Yeah, Phoenix, 0 last hits for the Phoenix and only 3 for the Darkseer.
Oh, he's running out of mana. If you look, he's got that Sage's Mask, but he's completely out of clarities, and he's burned through all of his tangos. And now you see Visage coming around just for some casual harassment, but this Darkseer cannot afford to be harassed. All he has is his salve remaining, and he's not to the point of his soul ring, which is where he needs to be very soon.
We are seeing, it looks like Queen of Pain did put a point into that Shadow Strike.
She does have the bottle, so maybe she's just trying to stop the Viper enough that... I'm not quite sure what she's doing. Probably going to scream out the wave. Oh, she's going for top rune, but Viper's going to get that. It's going to be a bounty rune. In bottom lane, the Earthshaker's going to snag an invis here. So Queen of Pain, she still has 2 bottle charges, but not going to be a whole lot for her there. Now with this Earthshaker invis, he may be able to gank mid lane here. But meanwhile, we have the 2 supports, SnK. They've smoked themselves up. So, going to be something happening in this mid lane. Earthshaker is about ready to go. Wow, she does have her blink up. Level 5, she's now level 6. This could be huge. They're starting to go in on her. Oh, no.
Oh no, but here comes the counter gank.
And now they're going in. The Viper, he's taking a lot of damage. Now the Fisher coming out the Maledict. They're trying to get Maggot. He's going down solo. One last, the Maledict. No! He's healed from the Dazzle. Will it be enough? He's going to tick out, but he still has the Maledict on him. And it is your first blood. And now Dirkshire going in for more. The Dazzle, he's already used Shallow Grave. He's still level 1. He's got nothing. He's going to try to deny himself to neutrals here, possibly. And the neutrals, will they get the last hit? Yes, the beautiful Fisher. Make sure that Dazzle gets the deny. Good plays from the Earthshaker there.
Yeah, great job. Earthshaker hiding in those trees and just making his presence known when it counted there, allowing that Dazzle to get the deny on the creeps. So that had to make Queen of Pain shed just a little bit of a tear there.
Oh, definitely. She was so sure of that kill, and then Fisher out of nowhere. Meanwhile, that whole time, Darkseer, he does get the level 3. He's very, very close to his soul ring. Almost 50 gold, just about 50 gold away from it now. So with the supports rotating, he did get a little bit more, and he ferried himself out of clarity. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Phoenix has hit level 4.
And she did get that sentry ward up to deny that pull camp there, but it doesn't really look like they've utilized the pull camp very much to this point. But now if they do, Phoenix is going to be able to not have to worry too much about it after this single use.
Definitely. This Gyrocopter, though, he's been controlling the lane very well. It's allowing his supports to do things like this and just the massive stacks that you're seeing everywhere. I mean, I haven't seen this kind of dedication and stacking from a support in a really long time.
It is some impressive amount of stacks here for Shadowforge Gaming.
But it is taking its toll. I mean, you've got a Dazzle who just now hits level 2 off of Bounty. He was level 1 in the engagement, hadn't skilled up anything, and then he skills up Shallow Grave. The Gyrocopter is able to keep this lane in relatively good position. They may be looking to go on the Phoenix here.
Once that Gyrocopter gets some points into that flat cannon, we're probably going to see him transition to that jungle. One support's going to stay in the lane, and the other one's going to go hug the Gyrocopter while he clears those stacks. And you should see some quick XP going the way of that support, as well as some massive amounts of gold going to that Gyro. But what they do need to be mindful of is that Phoenix catching the view of those stacks, and then maybe SnK trying to do something there with that Queen of Pain and burn up those stacks. Oh, we're going to see a rupture on the Darkseer. Darkseer quickly going to try to TP. Oh, Coconut. Yeah, Coconut going to stop that there. So good kill for SnK. 3-0 here at the 7-minute mark.
Oh, Darkseer. He's getting so low. These Ion Shell spams are just so annoying. If we look at Darkseer, he's at 200 health. It's just, ugh. We're on the bottom lane. A little bit of a harassment being exchanged between the Earthshaker and the Phoenix, but nothing major. That was a very nice use of the Bloodsucker. He had actually just turned to level 6. Like, on that very creep, he used his Rupture right away, and they managed to secure a kill. So very well done by them.
Yeah, now that Bloodseeker's level 6, I don't see how Darkseer is going to be able to get into that XP range at all, because he can't speed himself out. He's just going to die faster. So Darkseer definitely going to have trouble with this Bloodseeker now that Bloodseeker's hit level 6.
Oh my gosh, they just stopped the Ancients. I'm actually concerned about this amount of stacks just because if the Quap or something, they're going they're going to use the ult, and they're actually going to take down the Gyrocopter. Queen of Pain with the not quite solo kill, but tries to go in on the Phoenix, and now Earthshaker, they see him, the Coconut's flying out now, the Maledict will connect. Bop blinks up and blinks up now. Reverb taking a tower shot. Dazzle coming in. And the end result is the creep being pulled. I'm actually going to give one of these stacks here to the Darkseer. So this will secure him level 5 here. Should get him his boots, as it does, but very good gank on the bottom lane. They're giving Visage the lane. It's very important that Visage get that level 6, get those familiars up and running. He can do a lot around the map with them, but not if he stays at the measly level 4, level 3 you sometimes see supports at until like 15 minutes in the game. Gyrocopter building up towards what's most likely a Helm of the Dominator here. Hasn't committed for it for the moment yet. Meanwhile, Darkseer heading back to the top lane. He is level 5. The mid lane. Rook's just getting a lot out of this lane here. He is, however, trailing in the CS department against the Viper, but she does have 2 kills to her name to make up for it. Meanwhile, Phoenix having a dive away on the bottom, barely surviving with just 8 HP. The Gyrocopter and the Dazzle trying to dive, but without that poison touch, unable to secure the kill. Meanwhile, nope, not on the top lane. Meanwhile, on the top lane, the Bloodseeker is farming.
And just a quick statistic here. Last hits and denies, Gyrocopter with 34 denies. And just trailing the Bloodseeker by 6 last hits. So Gyrocopter doing well in this bottom lane. And once he moves to these stacks here, Gyrocopter really going to shoot up on the net worth graph.
They did give one to the Darks here, but it was the smallest of all the stacks. And they are actually stacking the Ancients as well. Dazzle was over there at one point stacking for him. But this Gyrocopter does need to take it soon, lest it be found by the enemy. I mean, I'm just finding this increasingly worrisome.
He is sitting, flat cannon's almost maxed out. He might be waiting to hit that level 9. Go ahead and max out that flat cannon and then try to quickly clear these stacks.
Yeah, definitely. And I think he can. He does have that Morbid Mask, and if he stand far back enough, then he should be able to get them both. Meanwhile, Dazzle try for another stack here.
The stacking. This Dazzle is definitely getting the stacking award after this.
Surprisingly, none of the supports nor the offlaners have. Oh, Berksha, Invis Rune. He's actually gonna stack. He's gonna see one of the stacks here, but decides not to go for the kill with the Invis Rune. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Phoenix getting harassed a little bit, but Dazzle's taking a lot of damage here. That level 3 Dazzle, he has nothing to be able to heal himself up from Phoenix.
And to bring it here in the mid lane, we do have Queen of Pain sitting with an Invis Rune here, hoping that maybe Viper or Earthshaker are going to move up. They did ping her out, it looked like, though.
They're bringing in Darkseer here. They may just wait for this to end.
They do have a ward up there over the Invis Rune.
The Coconut flies out now. Queen of Pain, she's going in for the kill. The Shadow Strike level 2. They're trying to do something. She blinks aggressively.
Oh, no!
She's going to get the kill. Oh, no, she doesn't get out of the trees. I thought she was out.
Yep.
Now Earthshaker, does he have anything to stop this? She has Blink up in 1. No, the stun misses, and now Queen of Pain blinks herself out to safety. So it's a quick 1-for-1. The Witch Doctor does end up going down to, I think, the Viper. Meanwhile, Gyrocopter is taking out all these stacks with the help of his creep.
So another stack on the Ancients as well, so that's a 3 stack.
Wow. This Gyrocopter's not going to be able to take that out yet. That's going to do way too much damage to him. But surprisingly, even after taking out all those stacks, he's not number 1 on network.
Yeah,
that actually does belong to the Darkseeker. Or the Bloodseeker.
Yep, Bloodseeker doing a good job up there. He hasn't left the lane. He did get that 1 kill on Darkseer, but he is not leaving this top lane.
I don't see why he should. He could gank, of course, with the Rupture, but I think anyone who comes up here knows they're dead. And he's just happy to farm away until he gets this SNY, which he has very, very soon, and then he'll just try to gank. Up, Darkseer TPing out. They ping him out. No way to stop the TP, though. Coconut not quite in range, so...
And I will say... That coconut from the compendium, one of my favorite compendium items.
It's certainly, everyone calls it the coconut. It's just so fitting that now it actually is a coconut. So 13 minutes in, we may start to see the first team fights here. They've sent Earthshaker up here just to try to sap some XP from this tower going down, but he needs to be very, very careful about where he steps. The Rupture can just completely ruin your day. But now they're bringing up 3 here. They may look to defend. They have the Dazzle. Bloodseeker looking to heal up on some creeps and then maybe possibly re-engage. Both teams posturing at this top lane. They've brought the Gyrocopter up here. They definitely want to fight. Haste himself up. Now the Bloodseeker, he's going to see him. He's going to Rupture him immediately. And now he's content to stand still. He has his entire team behind him. The Bloodseeker's just going to get blown up. And now they're trying to go on Jesus was my dad. They're going forward. Now the Quapshi's come in. And now she's going to scream, finish off the Bloodseeker. And now she's going to go for more. She's going to completely... Oh, no, she kills the courier with the ult. I don't think that was the intention, but it worked anyway. Visage just now goes down to the Gyrocopter. And the Witch Doctor with F4 comes so close to time. Meanwhile, the Quap's still battling it out with the Earthshaker on the other side. But she's out of mana. She can't do anything. So it's a 2-for-1 with the Darkseer going down, but you lose your Bloodseeker and your Visage, and more. Gyrocopter gets one of those kills, if not both. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think he only got one of those kills there. But let's see. As far as the net worth graph, that did swing it just a little bit in the favor of SNK. They are sitting about a 2,500 gold leaf.
Invis Rune here. Visage does have the familiars up. Earthshaker, he's level 6. All the big ults are coming online. They need to be very careful about engaging into this. They're going to try to go on the Darkseer, and he's going to haste himself up and get out. But the Coconut is flying out, and now Rupture, it's already back up. This is going to be a dead Bloodseeker. And now the Echo Slice, it immediately takes down one. It takes down two. And now the ult, and the Spaceman Surf is going to go down again. It's a double kill for your Viper. Oh my goodness, that went so wrong. They got their ults and then used them perfectly there. The Earthshaker coming in from behind, they never left this top lane.
And that Darkseer with that, I don't want to vacuum into that epicenter. They're SNK going to have to be mindful of that there. And they just seen the power of Shadowforge Gaming's lineup with that Darkseer Earthshaker.
And that's 2 quick kills on your Darkseer in a row. If we take a look at net worth, it's now definitely in the favor of the Gyrocopter here. So top tier 1 looks like it will be going down. The Visage Familiar is trying to stall out the push, but nothing they can do at the moment. Coconut is going to fly, but he's taking a lot of damage here. He needs to be very careful. He's actually going to go down here, and there he will go down. And one of the Familiars also goes down. Very unfortunate turn of events for them there. Witch Doctor just getting too aggressive and pays for it with his life.
We are just going to see some more stacks happening in this jungle here.
Yeah, I was looking at the Earthshaker too. I'm like, are you seriously stacking again? Wow,
And we do, looks like Gyrocopter also is going to use that creep there to continue stacking this ancient stack.
Wow. Now Phoenix going to get fissured here. We look at Phoenix. He's actually going for what could be, it looks like it's actually a mechanism. Not an item you often see on Phoenix.
It does give him a little bit more armor, allows that ult to maybe take a couple more last hits with that additional armor, and just builds into a little bit of more team fight potential.
Usually you see a mechanism on teams that want to push early, but given SNK's lineup, do they want to push? Oh, mid lane, weave on 2. Visage Familiars going up.
They are going to see that stack.
But do they have the heroes to contest an ancient stack at this point? They have the Bloodseeker, but that's going to be a long, slow process. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Gyrocopter takes his bill. A lot of ults used, but in the end, Gyrocopter does take his bill.
So they are going to have continuous vision. They're going to watch for that ancient stack to be cleaned up. But even with this mid tower still in play here, they're going to have a hard time trying to get up there and contest that stack until they take this middle tower.
Definitely. And the rating here, SMG, Shadowforge Gaming, they're not looking to give it up. Meanwhile, Phoenix comes in, just some casual harassment, slowing the attack speed.
Bloodseeker going to go down to this tower. Yes.
Oh, that's gotta hurt. Trying to kill this Earthshaker. Earthshaker, it looks like Earthshaker actually ults him there and gets the solo kill onto your Bloodseeker. Don't know quite what happened there.
I think Bloodseeker dove just a little too deep trying to get that kill on the Earthshaker.
This Earthshaker is actually 2-0-4. He's getting very close to a Blink Dagger. Meanwhile, top tower does go down to the last dying breath of the catapult.
I'm going to say in the last 5 minutes, we did see a net worth swing of about 3K now in favor of Shadowforge Gaming. They're only up about 1,000 gold, so both teams keeping it pretty even here at the 18-minute mark. Both teams 8-8, and only 1,000 net worth separates them. So pretty close game up to this point.
It doesn't look like they're stopping here. They're going for this tier 2. You're taking a lot of damage here.
It does look like they're going to trade a tier 2 for this bottom tier 1. And I don't know if SNK may have just didn't want to try to defend that tier 2, or if they just wanted to go ahead and secure a tower.
They're trying to get both here. Oh, they're hastening for it. They want this familiar. Oh, it looks like the creeps will finish it off there. Meanwhile, Spaceman's Perfect. He's going to bump into their entire team. He's going to use Rupture. He doesn't get it off, and now the weave. Now the doubles on the Earthshaker stuns are stopping them. System Surf, he's going to get it off, and now Phoenix into the ult. They're trying to turn around, but the Egg is getting murdered. The Egg's going to go down, but now your Witch Doctor ult from the high ground. Can they just fight through this too? They have the Shallow Grave. He knows he needs to run. Now the ult on somebody, but no one's going down. The Viper is so low. He's going to be the first to fall. Now you're actually 2 down. Your Darkseer goes down as well. They're charging forward. The Earthshaker is low. They're trying to get something. They see him. Now the Dazzle trying to TP out. No, the Coconut will be there. And now it's a double kill for your Witch Doctor. 4 down, all except the Gyrocopter. And that started with the Bloodseeker. The Phoenix just walking the wrong way, but they don't have the Gyrocopter there. And SnK able to pick up quick 4 kills there.
So that team fight, a lot going on there. I don't think either team expected for that team fight to go on that long. We are seeing some pings here on the Ancient stack as well. That is I think that's a 4 stack.
I see. Yeah,
okay.
A 4 stack currently.
Oh, can they do it again?
4 stack, you need to do it at 51, or else it never has a chance of stacking. And even when you do it at 51, it has barely a chance of stacking. The Ancients are just too fat and they stumble over each other.
So now with that team fight, that did cause the graph to swing a little bit. Only about a 1,500 net worth lead for Shadowforge Gaming.
It does, however, stop the aggression from SFG, Shadowforge Gaming. They're not looking to take another fight now. Interestingly enough, we haven't seen either team go for the Roshan objective here. And with the Visage, has he finished his medallion? No, he's actually... Oh, yes, he has. He has finished his medallion. So we'll see what he goes for next, but surprised that neither team has gone for Roshan. Now the Dazzle, interestingly enough, he looks like he's maxing Shadow Wave and Shallow Grave. Put 1 point result, and he hasn't got any in Poison Touch. What do you think of this?
Do the wave.
Are you there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Oh, what do you think of the Dazzle's build? He's put no points into the Poison Touch and instead maxed out Shallow Grave and Shadow Wave.
You know, and again, maybe this Dazzle knew he didn't have a whole lot of presence in the lane, and he's just looking to be effective and trying to keep the sustain up during these team fights. So, you know, it is. I don't want to say it's a common build, but I don't think it's a bad build by any means.
The Rupture gonna go out onto the Gyrocopter. The Citizen's Perfect. He's gonna have to run himself away here. They're trying to get something. Earthshaker gonna blink aggressively on him. Now he's even gonna Echo Slam. He needs more damage. He doesn't quite have it. Citizen's Perfect living, which is on the backside of the fight. Now Berkshire's trying to go against this Gyro, but can't quite do it. And now Gyrocopter, he's being ruptured. He's being everything. But he's still alive. He's gonna try to TP out the stun. No! Not burn up another Coconut. No, look, he bounces. Phoenix going through the wall. It's a 1-for-1 right now, but Phoenix caught out. He already used the dive. I don't think there's anything. He's gonna try to TP. Will they be able to stop it? No! So close. Unfortunately, it's just a 1-for-0 there. You're popping your only kill. Oh, they're still going? Oh, no. Give up pursuit onto your Witch Doctor there, but Earthshaker committing everything he had onto that Bloodseeker there, and it's not enough to stop him. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Bloodseeker does take down that tier 1 tower. So some much needed gold for him. If we take a look at network, Gyrocopter is just so far ahead. I mean, he has a full SNY Helm of the Dominator. He was so tanky there. He got ulted by Bloodseeker, by Phoenix, by Quab, and he just wouldn't die.
And that's why you see that Bloodseeker banned out in so many picks here. He does get that movement speed. You had a lot of low heroes on the map, and there he goes. He's gone.
Now, trying to look up on something. So trying to set up something here on Savage Habit, but I don't know if they see him. Oh, Berkshire may see him. They're going to blink forward. Now they're going in. He's going to get ruptured and Sonic Wave. He's going to try to TP Alpha here, and he will be successful. So 2 ults blown, but no kill secured. A bit unfortunate there for SnK. Take a look at the graph. You were saying it's really even. Only a 2K net worth lead for Shadowforge Gaming here. So very, very close so far. Again, we'll see when one of the teams decides to try to take Roche. Looks like both have wards within the area. Dire actually have 2 wards within the area. They really want this Roche. They just want to make sure that they know when Shadowforge Gaming tried to do the Roshan and be able to contest it or do it themselves. They do have the medallion there.
And again, both teams looking to just farm it up. We are seeing a group up here of SnK in the mid, so we might see a team fight take place. It looks like we are.
Oh, Earthshaker, he's gonna blink in. He's trying to do something. He doesn't have Echo Slam yet, huh? He's blinking, he's trying to do something. Now the wall being deployed, but they're just gonna go on the Darkseer, and Darkseer just melts. Oh, wow. Bit of a miscommunication there from the Radiant squad. It looks like the Earthshaker, he blinks in without the Echo Slam available. He uses the Fisher, but just onto the Darkseer. They just weren't all on the same page there. Some went in, others didn't. The Gyrocopter, he's killing off the Witch Doctor bottom, but now Gyrocopter, will he get this kill? Yes, he will, but now the Phoenix try to do something. He has the ult. No, he dies before he can use it, and now Spaceman Surf. And he's out. So Gyrocopter with a double kill. They try to take him down. This Gyrocopter is just getting out of control. He's rushing a Butterfly. He's not even stopping for BKB. He figures Quad Pult's going to pierce it. So is Bloodseeker. What do I care? I don't need a BKB.
And you know, that's Bloodseeker's bane, though, quickly on Gyrocopter. He's TP'd out from Bloodseeker probably 5 times this game so far. So unless Bloodseeker gets something to stop a TP, that's going to be what Gyrocopter looks to do.
And that secured him a 5K, almost 5K net worth lead onto your Bloodseeker. SnK here, the only real threat for them, it looks like, is this Gyrocopter. What do they need to do to bring him down? Or do you not try to bring him down at the start of the fight and just leave him for last?
You really have to group up against the Gyrocopter. You got to wait for that call down to come down and then try to get close, because he's going to look to catch someone out and rocket barrage them. And that rocket barrage, him being so farmed to this point, is just going to do massive damage. So you really have to focus that Gyrocopter after the call down happens. So you really want to focus the other team, the other teammates, let Gyrocopter do his call down and move in, and then just try to burn him as quick as you can.
But the Gyrocopter is just getting more and more tanky. I mean, we saw the Rupture, the Sonic Wave, and then he just doesn't carry. TP's out. Meanwhile, Darkseer, oh my gosh. They threw everything on him, and he still took 2 of them with him. Yeah,
that flat cannon able to hit that egg as well as hit the other 2 heroes.
He's bought out his BKB. Will he get this kill? Yes, he will. And okay,
kill secured.
Kill secured. Simple enchant totem would have done, but that has no style to it. So a 3 for 2 all around the map, favoring your SFG. Maybe not, actually. Bloodseeker did get a kill before going down and killing that Gyrocopter. He's so far ahead on net worth. That might be worth 2 other heroes.
Yeah, 5K separates him and that Bloodseeker, but you know, the rest of the team, though, surprisingly staying very even. This Gyrocopter just taking advantage of those stacks, and his supports did an amazing job, like we talked about before the game started. One thing you have to do for a Gyrocopter to win is secure him that early farm, and they did an amazing job at keeping that jungle stacked.
Definitely. No, they ping out Dazzle here. Bird going in on him. Oh, he's going to blink in. He's going to get a Fisher on 2, Enchant Totem on another. He's bringing him very low here, but now they're using everything on him, and boy, did I just see a Dagon?
Yes, we did. Visage, level 1 Dagon.
So this is the man who got a heart on Chen, and now he has a Dagon on Visage.
It's the wild card. It's the wild card, no.
It's the wild card.
So, you know, as wild as he builds, I would not be surprised if this goes late to see an Ethereal Blade come out.
Oh, boy. They're starting to fight here. Witch Doctor, he's out way too far. He's going to get melted immediately. Oh, he has the Glimmer Cape, but will it be enough to save him? He's getting low here. They need to try to do something. He's trying to juke off to the north, but 1 hit from the Viper is enough to kill him. And meanwhile, the Phoenix ult, they've used it, but the Gyrocopter, he's just right-clicking the tower. He's like, where's my team? My egg? I'm going to die. And he's dying on the last breath, and now they're going in on the Viper. He's going to get Shallow Grave for the last possible moment. It's 3 down. It's going to be 4 down. They're all dead. Meanwhile, on the top lane, Simpson Perfect, trying to do something. He's running away. All his teammates are dead. He's like, no, okay, I'm out of here. Oh, he sees Zero Shaker. He's going to maybe try to fish him. He did see him just use the Blink Dagger. Now, oh, not willing to go in for the kill there. Doesn't know where the enemy team is, but disaster in the bottom lane, and now this bottom tier 2 may pay for it with its life. Gyrocopter with that nice and shiny butterfly just dealing massive damage. He just melts the Witch Doctor the second he goes in there. Now he's almost done to a BKB, just 1,000 away, and if you look at this net worth chart, he's just miles ahead.
Yeah, and we did see that solo 2-to-1 kill there. Bloodseeker using that BKB charge to secure that kill on the Earthshaker. But that is a 10-second BKB, now down to 9, I do believe.
Yes, definitely. But he needed the kill, and he's willing to use that BKB on it. 75-second cooldown. Looks like they're going to back up. Not quite ready to push high ground here. Roshan still up at the 28-minute mark. Both teams have a lineup that could potentially do. However, Dazzle did not go for that medallion, so it would be very long Roshan for Shadowforge Gaming, but they could do it. Or it could be SNK's way back into the game. They have the mechanism. They have the Visage, well, Viper, Shadowblade. They're going to see him now, and now they're going to use the Coconut. They're going to use everything on him, and look at this. The ult going out. They're trying to do everything they can to kill this Gyrocopter. He's at 700 life points, and he's just going to run himself away. Berkshire, he may look to pursue. He still has the ult. Not going for it. Meanwhile, Phoenix. Oh, someone else just TP'd. I didn't quite see who. Viper TPing out. So, Witch Doctor Death Ward is down along with the Phoenix. Oh, they didn't use the Phoenix eggs there, but the Witch Doctor Death Ward is down, and no kills secured with it, so...
Bloodseeker is going to see these stacks, and he's going to go ahead and kill off that Gyrocopter creep and try to secure some of these stacks, but...
find him here, and now... Oh, he's going to use the BKB. He knows he needs to run, though. And now his team, they're coming in. The Shadow Wave, the Sonic Raven now. The Rupture on this one. Gyrocopter is just walking in. Look at the damage. There's so much damage. And now he's going to go on to they need something. He needs to stun it. The egg's going to go down. No, it goes down again. Wop, she's going to have to blink out here. Witch Doctor does have the Glimmer Cape up, but this Gyrocopter, he's just going for it. Now, they're going to use the Glimmer Cape, try to get themselves away. Another fight going SFG's way. If we take a look at buyback status, none of these here. Bloodseeker does have a buyback, but I don't think he wants to use it here. And the Phoenix does have buyback, but no ult for him. So I don't know how they're going to defend this high ground. Can they defend this high ground?
And that is the downfall with the Phoenix. You know, he does do a good job at slowing that attack speed, but once he drops that egg, oh!
Go to the Earthshaker, Echo Slam on it too. It's 2 down. Block buyback immediately, and now the tower's already gone down. Buyback from your Bloodseeker. Can they defend the Witch Doctor? Also using it immediately, but now Reaver, he's going to get 2-shotted. Triple kill for your Gyrocopter. The silence on the 3, and now the Gyrocopter is using no. They're trying to slow down this Bloodseeker, and they are. Massive him. Ultra kill for your
Can we see a rampage?
No, he's ruptured up. They're not going to be able to get to him. Now Phoenix, he's going to get hit down. Icarus dive himself away in the quap. She has nothing to give. Ult up in 7 for the Varix. They're going down. The glyph has been used. She's screaming at the creeps, trying to get them away, and now the ult is up for Quap. Will she use it? Yes, she will. It hits on 2, and now she's going to blink herself away. Shallow Grave prematurely onto the Gyrocopter, and this is a wave of barracks down. Another weave comes out. They're trying to keep the armor up. The Visage Familiars are on bottom lane for some random reason. Now they're looking towards this top tier 2. Gyrocopter, he's 2,000 gold away from an MKB, and with how these fights are going, that 2,000 gold will come very quickly. The Viper has overtaken the Bloodseeker. There's so much farm. This game was close, but I think it's hard to make a case that it's close anymore.
Yeah, Shadowforge Gaming sitting over 15K net worth difference. At this point, it's going to be a miracle for SNK to recover.
And they just don't have the farm to recover. They don't have the heroes to do so. I mean, Visage. I mean, they didn't take Roshan with the Visage, and now Dazzle, he has a full Shadow Solar Crest. That's what it's called. Now they're going to go up onto the high ground, dropping the wall, the silence. Not going to hit on anyone. Now the Rupture, they're going to use it. They're trying to take down this Gyrocopter. He's actually getting very, very low, and now he will turn. He's getting Glimmer Caped up. He's trying to get out all these charges, but he's going to go down here, and he does go down. Spaceman Surf, they're on the rampage now. They're trying to get all they can, but the Fisher, and now 1 down. The Bloodseeker's going down. The Quap almost in, and then it does bring her down. Meanwhile, your Viper, it's right-clicking away all this farm that they've gotten. Gyrocopter isn't the only one who deals damage anymore. Now you have to worry about everyone. The Echo Slam from Earthshaker, the Viper right clicks, and then GG is going to be called by Spaceman's Grove. They don't have the buybacks to defend this. Gyrocopter will buy back. Might as well buy Boots of Travel, but the throne will explode. GG is the call. 29-18. Shadowforge Gaming are your victors here. That's a
Okay. We'll also have to check for all the viewers on the stream. We'll check. I'm not sure how many games are actually going to be played, if this is a series of 3 or 5, and we'll check on that. But I'm sure we'll see Game 2 come out, so stay tuned, and I'll update you in the chat as soon as we hear something. So first game going the way of Shadowforge Gaming.